Thank you for choosing American Pest CEUs. This course was prepared by Jack Launius.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Reeves. I'm an Associate Certified Entomologist with American Pest CEUs, and I've been in the pest management industry since 1999. I'll be your instructor for today's course.
Today's course is Intermittent Invaders, insects or pests that typically do not infest a property. Intermittent invader pests are insects or pests that typically do not infest a property in large numbers or on a continuous basis. Instead, they may enter a building periodically or seasonally, seeking shelter, food, or other favorable conditions. These pests can be a nuisance and may cause some damage, but they are not as pervasive as common household pests like ants, cockroaches, or rodents. Intermittent invader pests include stink bugs. Stink bugs are insects belonging to the family Pentatomidae, which is part of the order Hemiptera. Stink bugs are notorious occasional invader pests. Stink bugs are classified under the order Hemiptera, which includes true bugs. Within this order, they belong to the family Pentatomidae. The family Pentatomidae is a large and diverse group of bugs, and stink bugs are one of the most recognizable members. Stink bugs have a distinct shield-shaped body with a wide, flat exoskeleton covering their wings and abdomen. They have a pair of long antennae and sucking mouthparts called a rostrum. Most stink bug species have a relatively large size, typically ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 centimeters in length, but some species can grow larger. Stink bugs undergo incomplete metamorphosis, which means they have 3 life stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Female stink bugs lay eggs on plant leaves, and the young nymphs resemble smaller versions of the adults. As nymphs grow, they undergo several molts before reaching adulthood. The time it takes for a stink bug to complete its life cycle varies depending on species and environmental conditions. Stink bugs exhibit various colors and patterns depending on the species. Many stink bugs are brown or green, which helps them blend in with the plants in their natural environment. Some species have vivid patterns or bright colors, while others have a mottled appearance that aids in their camouflage. Stink bugs are highly adaptable insects found in various habitats worldwide. They are primarily phytophagous, meaning they feed on plants. While some species are generalist and consume a wide range of plant species, others are more specialized and prefer specific host plants. Stink bugs use their piercing, sucking mouthparts to feed on plant juices, including sap, leaves, stems, and fruits. In agricultural settings, some stink bug species are considered pests as they can damage crops and reduce yields. One of the most distinctive features of stink bugs is their scent glands. These insects possess specialized glands that produce foul-smelling chemicals as a defense mechanism. When threatened or disturbed, stink bugs release these chemicals as a deterrent against predators. The pungent odor is the reason they are called stink bugs. The smell can be quite strong and unpleasant, which serves as an effective defense against many potential predators. These shield-shaped insects are commonly found in gardens and fields, but during the fall they seek shelter indoors to overwinter. Stink bugs can become a nuisance when they gather in large numbers on the sunny sides of buildings, seeking warmth as the weather cools down. Preventive measures, such as sealing cracks and gaps, can help stink bugs from infiltrating your home. If you encounter a stink bug infestation, consider using a vacuum cleaner to remove them, as squashing them can release their unpleasant odor. Managing stink bug populations often involves a combination of methods including cultural practices, biological control, and chemical interventions when necessary. Integrated pest management (IPM) strategies aim to reduce reliance on chemical pesticides and use a holistic approach to manage stink bug populations effectively. Exterior barrier treatment. Applying an exterior barrier treatment around a residence in the late summer or early fall can help prevent stink bugs from entering. A residual insecticide can create a barrier that repels them and reduces the chance of them finding entry points. Caulk and weather strip. Inspect the home's exterior for any gaps, cracks, or openings and use caulk or weather stripping to seal them. Pay attention to areas around windows, doors, utility pipes, and other potential entry points. Use screens. Ensure that all windows, vents, and openings in your home have properly fitting screens to prevent stink bugs from flying or crawling inside. Manage garden vegetation. Removing any overripe or damaged fruits and vegetables that may attract stink bugs. Keep gardens well maintained to discourage them from lingering in the area. Outdoor lighting. Stink bugs can be drawn to outdoor lighting, especially at night. Consider using yellow or insect-resistant light bulbs to minimize their attraction. Light traps. Light traps or sticky traps can be outdoors to catch stink bugs before they enter the home. Physical characteristics. Ladybugs are insects belonging to the family Cochonellidae, which is part of the order Coleoptera beetles. They are one of the most easily recognizable and beloved groups of insects, known for their vibrant colors and distinctive spots. Ladybugs undergo complete metamorphosis, consisting of 4 life stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Female ladybugs lay clusters of eggs on the underside of leaves, where they hatch into larvae. The larvae are elongated and have a spiky appearance. They go through several molts before pupating. The pupa is a non-feeding stage during which the larva undergoes metamorphosis into an adult ladybug. The adult emerges from the pupa with fully developed wings and reproductive capabilities. Ladybugs have a compact and dome-shaped body with a hardened exoskeleton. They typically have a bright coloration, often red or orange with black spots. However, ladybugs can also be black with red spots, yellow with black spots, or even have different colors and patterns depending on the species. Ladybugs may appear in large numbers during certain times of the year as they search for shelter to overwinter. They are attracted to warmth and light and may congregate on windowsills and other areas inside buildings. Beneficial insects. Ladybugs are generally considered beneficial insects in gardens and agricultural settings because they feed on aphids and other plant pests. However, when they invade homes in large numbers, they can become a nuisance. The following are some ways to control or limit their entry into a living space. Using screens. Installing screens on windows and doors will not only keep ladybugs out, but also help with other flying pests. If existing screens have tears or gaps, they should be sealed. Yellow light bulbs. Like stink bugs, ladybugs are attracted to light. Using yellow or insect-resistant light bulbs outside can reduce their attention to a structure. Vacuuming. If ladybugs have already entered the home, you can use a vacuum cleaner to gently remove them. Empty the vacuum bag or canister outside to prevent them from returning indoors. Avoid squashing when dealing with ladybugs. Avoid squashing them, as they can release a yellowish, defensive fluid that may stain surfaces and have a distinct odor. Box elder bugs. Appearance and behavior. Box elder bugs are insects belonging to the family Rhopalidae, which is part of the order Hemiptera. They are true bugs and are closely related to stink bugs and other hemipterans. Box elder bugs, Bosea trivittata, are small insects belonging to the true bug family, and they are native to North America. They are approximately half an inch long and have a distinctive appearance with their black bodies and red markings on the wings and thorax. When at rest, their wings form an X shape on their back, which is a key identifying feature. Box elder bugs are primarily herbivores and feed on the seeds, leaves, and fruits of box elder trees, as well as other members of the maple family. They are most active during the warm months and can often be found basking in the sun on the sunny sides of buildings, especially during cooler fall days. Seasonal behavior. In the fall, as temperatures drop, box elder bugs seek shelter to overwinter. They are attracted to warmth and light, which is why they tend to congregate on the sunny sides of buildings, particularly around windows and doors. As they search for entry points, they can find gaps and cracks in a building's exterior, allowing them to enter the structure. Indoor presence. While box elder bugs do not cause any structural damage, their large congregations and occasional indoor presence can be a nuisance to homeowners. Once inside, they may seek out warm, dry areas such as wall voids, attics, or basements to hibernate during the colder months. Preventive measures. To prevent box elder bugs from infiltrating your home, consider taking the following preventive measures. Seal entry points. Inspect your home for any gaps, cracks, or openings, and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Install screens. Use screens on windows, doors, vents, and other openings to keep box elder bugs and other insects out. Trim vegetation. If possible, keep box elder trees and other attractive vegetation away from the immediate vicinity of your home. Exterior barrier treatment. Applying an insecticide barrier around the exterior of the home in late summer or early fall can deter box elder bugs from entering. Cluster flies. Cluster flies are insects belonging to the family Calliphoridae, which is part of the order Diptera true flies. They are closely related to blowflies and houseflies. Cluster flies, Polinia spp, are a common nuisance pest, especially in cooler regions. Appearance and behavior. Cluster flies are similar in appearance to houseflies, but they are slightly larger and have golden yellow hairs on their thorax, giving them a distinctive appearance. They have dark-colored bodies and are typically about 8 to 10 millimeters in length. When at rest, their wings often overlap, forming a cluster on their back, which is how they got their name. Reproduction. Unlike other common flies, cluster flies do not reproduce indoors. Instead, female cluster flies lay their eggs in soil or in cracks and crevices near earthworm populations. The hatched larvae then parasitize earthworms as part of their development. This means that the presence of cluster flies indoors is not an indication of a breeding infestation within your home. Egg stage. The life cycle of a cluster fly begins when the adult female lays her eggs. These eggs are typically laid in soil, cracks, or crevices near earthworm burrows, where the larvae, maggots of the cluster fly's primary host, earthworms, can be found. The eggs hatch into small white larvae after a few days. Larval stage. The larval stage of cluster flies consists of 3 instars. The larvae are scavengers and primarily feed on the decaying organic matter in the earthworm burrows, as well as the earthworms themselves. The larval stage can last for a couple of weeks. Pupal stage. After completing their development as larvae, the clusterfly larva will pupate in the soil. The pupal stage is a resting stage during which the fly undergoes metamorphosis inside a pupal case, transforming from a larva into an adult. This stage usually lasts for about 14 to 30 days depending on environmental conditions. Adult stage. The adult clusterfly emerges from the pupal case and starts its short adult life. Clusterflies are slow-moving and are often seen flying clumsily around buildings and windows during late summer and autumn. They primarily feed on flower nectar and other sugary substances. Seasonal behavior. As the weather cools down in the fall, clusterflies seek shelter indoors to escape the cold temperatures. They are attracted to warm, sunny areas and may congregate on walls, windows, and other surfaces, forming large clusters. Once inside, they seek out secluded areas like attics, wall voids, and crawl spaces, where they become inactive during the winter months. Overwintering behavior. Clusterflies become dormant during the colder months, entering a state known as diapause. Diapause is a period of reduced metabolic activity similar to allowing them to survive the winter months. When temperatures rise during brief warm spells in winter, clusterflies may become active and emerge from their hiding places, which can be alarming for homeowners who suddenly notice large numbers of flies indoors. Control and prevention. Preventing cluster flies from entering a home is the most effective way to deal with them. Here are some preventive measures. Seal entry points. Inspect your home for any openings or gaps and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Install screens. Use screens on windows, doors, and vents to prevent flies from entering. Attic ventilation. Properly ventilate your attic to reduce the attractiveness of warm, protected spaces for cluster flies. Control and prevention. Preventing cluster flies from entering a home is the most effective way to deal with them. Here are some preventive measures. Seal entry points, inspect your home for any openings or gaps, and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Install screens. Use screens on windows, doors, and vents to prevent flies from entering. Attic ventilation. Properly ventilate your attic to reduce the attractiveness of warm, protected spaces for cluster flies. Exterior chemical applications are the most effective tactic to kill and overwintering adults next season emergence. However, killing mass amounts of flies in the interior of structures can cause a potential issue with other insects that might be attracted to the dead flies. This is why exclusion is a must for proper long-term control. A mixture of a pyrethroid and Nibor-D is recommended. Spray liberally on surfaces with a concentrated effort on areas with larger cracks and harborage areas. Vinyl siding is a prime area where heat distribution and harborage areas are exponential in nature. Dusting the voids with Nibor-D is a good method as well. Using dust tends to be very efficacious as it travels best into the most difficult, hard-to-reach areas. Areas that are ideal for harborage are not necessarily correlated with breeding areas. Understand that adult flies can travel exceptionally long distances to overwinter. However, most breeding sites are close to adult aggregation areas. Exterior barrier treatment. Applying insecticide barriers around the exterior of your home in the fall can deter cluster flies from finding entry points. Cluster flies look like house flies but tend to cluster on walls or windows during cooler months. They are often found in warm, protected areas such as attics, wall voids, and crawl spaces during the fall and winter months. Cluster flies are not harmful to humans and do not bite or transmit diseases. Cluster flies feed on flowers and do not reproduce inside buildings. They become active during warm spells in the winter months and may emerge from hiding places in large numbers, causing concerns for homeowners. Asian lady beetles. Asian lady beetles, also known as Asian ladybugs, or Harmonia axyridis, belong to the family Coccinellidae, which is part of the order Coleoptera beetles. They are closely related to other ladybugs and lady beetles. Similar in appearance to native ladybugs, Asian lady beetles can be found indoors in significant numbers during the fall and winter. Asian lady beetles, Harmonia axyridis, also known as multicolored Asian lady beetles or Halloween lady beetles, are invasive species native to parts of Asia. They were introduced to North America as a biological control agent for agricultural pests. While they do not serve as beneficial predators of aphids and other plant pests, they can also become occasional invaders in homes during the fall and winter months. Egg stage. The life cycle begins when the adult female Asian lady beetles lay their eggs. The eggs are typically laid on the underside of leaves, often near aphid colonies or other soft-bodied insect prey. Each female can lay hundreds of eggs during her lifetime. The eggs are yellow or orange and oval-shaped. Larval stage. After a few days, the eggs hatch into larval forms. Asian lady beetle larvae are elongated, somewhat flattened, and have a spiky appearance. They are voracious predators and feed on small, soft-bodied insects, primarily aphids. The larval stage lasts for about 1 to 3 weeks, during which the larvae undergo several molts as they grow. Pupal stage. Once the larval stage is complete, the larvae attach themselves to a substrate, such as a leaf or stem, and transform into pupa. The pupal stage is a resting phase during which the larva undergoes metamorphosis into an adult lady beetle. The pupa are usually attached by their posterior end and appear as oval-shaped, immobile structures. Adult stage. After about 5 to 7 days in the pupal stage, the adult Asian lady beetle emerges. The newly emerged adults are initially soft and pale, but they quickly harden and gain their characteristic coloration. Asian lady beetles are known for their variable color patterns, which can range from orange to red, and may have varying numbers of spots. They also have a distinct M-shaped mark on their pronotum just behind the head. The Asian lady beetle life cycle is influenced by temperature and food availability. In warmer climates, multiple generations can occur each year, while in colder regions, they may only complete one generation per year. Like many lady beetle species, Asian lady beetles are beneficial insects due to their predation on aphids and other garden pests. However, their tendency to aggregate in large numbers indoors during colder months has led to some negative interactions with humans, such as causing allergies and occasionally releasing a defensive odor when disturbed. Appearance and behavior. Asian lady beetles closely resemble native ladybugs. They are small, round beetles with a convex body shape and distinctive dome-like appearance. Their coloration can vary, ranging from orange to red with various numbers of black spots on their wing covers. Some individuals may have no spots at all, while others can have numerous spots. Asian lady beetles are predatory insects and feed on soft-bodied insects, primarily aphids, which are considered agricultural pests. As such, they are valued as natural pest control agents in agricultural settings. However, they are opportunistic feeders and may also consume other insects' nectar and plant juices. Seasonal behavior. During the warmer months, Asian lady beetles primarily feed on aphids and other plant pests in agricultural fields and gardens. However, as the weather cools down in the fall, they seek shelter to overwinter. During the fall, Asian lady beetles go through a process called overwintering aggregation. They gather in large numbers, often on the sunny sides of buildings, seeking sheltered locations to spend the winter. This behavior can lead to their occasional invasion of homes and other structures. When they find their way indoors, they may become a nuisance to homeowners. Indoor presence. When Asian lady beetles find their way indoors, they often congregate in large numbers, leading to significant infestations in some cases. They may gather on windowsills, walls, ceilings, and light fixtures. Like other ladybugs, Asian lady beetles are attracted to light, which can draw them inside. Odor and staining. One of the key distinguishing features of Asian lady beetles is their defensive behavior. When disturbed or threatened, they release a yellowish, foul-smelling liquid from their leg joints. This odor, while not harmful, can be unpleasant. Additionally, when crushed, Asian lady beetles can leave behind stains on surfaces, including walls and fabrics. Control and prevention. To prevent Asian lady beetles from invading your home, consider the following preventive measures. Seal entry points, inspect your home for any cracks, gaps, or openings, and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Install screens. Use screens on windows, doors, and vents to keep lady beetles and other insects out. Exterior barrier treatment. Applying an insecticide barrier around the exterior of your home in the fall can deter lady beetles from finding entry points. Vacuuming. If Asian lady beetles do enter a home, you can use a vacuum cleaner to gently remove them. Crickets. Crickets belong to the family Grillidae, which is part of the order Orthoptera. They are closely related to grasshoppers and katydids. Crickets are known for their characteristic chirping sound produced by rubbing their wings together. Cricket species, particularly house crickets, Acheta domesticus, and camel crickets family Rhaphidophoridae, are common, occasional invaders of buildings, including basements and crawl spaces. Crickets undergo incomplete metamorphosis, which means they have 3 life stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Female crickets lay eggs in soil or other suitable substrates. The eggs hatch into nymphs, which resemble miniature versions of adults. As nymphs grow, they undergo several molts, shedding their exoskeletons before reaching adulthood. The life cycle of crickets can vary in duration depending on species and environmental conditions. Appearance and behavior. House crickets are typically light brown in color and have 3 dark bands on their heads. Crickets have an elongated body with 3 segments: the head, thorax, and abdomen. They have long, thread-like antennae and strong hind legs which are adaptive for jumping. Their front wings, known as tegmina, are leathery and protect the delicate hind wings which are used for flying. Not all cricket species can fly, and the ability to do so varies among different groups. They are attracted to light and may be seen near windows and light fixtures. On the other hand, camel crickets have a humpback appearance and lack wings, making them incapable of flight. They are often brown or gray and have long, spindly legs. One of the most well-known features of crickets is their ability to produce a characteristic chirping sound, which is primarily done by male crickets to attract females. The sound is produced by rubbing the edges of their wings together in a process called stridulation. Each species has a unique chirping pattern, and the sound can vary in pitch and duration. Habitat and seasonal behavior. Crickets are primarily outdoor insects, residing in areas such as gardens, fields, and dense vegetation. However, they can find their way into buildings when seeking shelter, particularly during periods of extreme weather, such as heat waves or heavy rain. They are attracted to the warmth and darkness of basements and crawl spaces, which may resemble their natural habitat. Food source. Crickets are omnivorous and have a diverse diet. They feed on a variety of plant material, such as leaves, fruits, and seeds, as well as other small insects and organic debris. Some species are considered pests in agricultural settings, as they can damage crops and vegetation. Prevention and control. To prevent crickets from entering your home, consider the following preventive measures. Sealing entry points. Inspect the structure for any gaps, cracks, or openings, and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Proper ventilation. Ensure that crawl spaces and basements are well ventilated to reduce moisture, which can attract crickets. Reduce attractants. Recommend a resident stay clean and free of food debris to minimize food sources for crickets. Outdoor lighting. Crickets are attracted to light, especially at night. Consider using yellow or insect-resistant light bulbs outside to reduce their attraction to the structure. Silverfish. Silverfish are small, wingless insects that prefer dark and damp areas, and they occasionally enter homes. Silverfish, Lepisma saturina, belong to the order Thysanura. Appearance and behavior. Silverfish have a unique appearance, characterized by their flattened, elongated bodies, covered in silvery or metallic scales. They have 3 long tail-like appendages at the rear end and 2 long antennae in the front. Despite their names, silverfish are not fish, they are insects. Silverfish undergo gradual metamorphosis, which means they have 3 life stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Female silverfish lay small, white eggs in crevices and hidden areas. The eggs hatch into nymphs, which look like smaller versions of adults. Nymphs undergo several molts before reaching adulthood, which can take several months to a few years depending upon environmental conditions. Habitat preference. Silverfish prefer dark, damp, and cool environments, which is why they are commonly found in basements, bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas with high humidity levels. They are nocturnal insects, meaning they are most active at night and seek dark, hiding places during the day. Diet. Silverfish are scavengers and will feed on a variety of materials. They primarily consume carbohydrates such as sugars, starches, and cellulose. They are known to damage books, paper products, wallpaper, and other items containing these materials and fabrics containing natural fibers like cotton and silk. Intermittent indoor invaders. While silverfish prefer outdoor environments, they can occasionally find their way into homes through cracks, gaps, and openings. They are also sometimes transported indoors through infested items such as cardboard boxes or old books. Prevention and control. To prevent silverfish from becoming a problem in a structure, consider the following preventive measures. Reduce humidity. Use dehumidifiers or improve ventilation in areas prone to high humidity, like basements and bathrooms. Seal entry points. Inspect for any gaps, cracks, or openings and seal them with caulk or weather stripping. Store items properly. Keep books, papers, and other vulnerable items in airtight containers to reduce silverfish access to their food sources. Remove food sources. Regularly clean up food spills and crumbs, as well as fix any water leaks to reduce potential food sources for silverfish. Centipedes and millipedes. These arthropods may enter homes seeking shelter and moisture. Centipedes and millipedes are arthropods belonging to the class Myriapoda. Despite having similar sounding names, they have distinct characteristics and behaviors. Centipedes, class Chilopoda, are elongated arthropods with one pair of legs per body segment. Their name centipede means 100 legs, but most species have far fewer legs, typically ranging from 15 to 177 pairs depending on the species. Centipedes have venomous fangs that they use to subdue their prey, which primarily consist of insects and other small invertebrates. Habitat and behavior. Centipedes are predominantly nocturnal creatures and are more active at night. They prefer dark and damp environments and can often be found in areas such as basements, crawl spaces, bathrooms, and under rocks or logs outdoors. When they enter homes, it is usually to seek shelter from extreme weather conditions or to find a moist environment. Intermittent indoor invaders. While centipedes may occasionally find their way indoors, they are not considered common indoor pests like ants or cockroaches. Their presence indoors is usually a result of accidental entry, and they are not harmful to humans or pets. Control and prevention. To prevent centipedes from becoming a nuisance indoors, consider the following preventive measures. Seal entry points. Inspect the structure for any cracks, gaps, or openings, and seal them to reduce potential entry points. Reduce moisture. Address any moisture issues, such as leaks or high humidity, to make the structure less attractive to centipedes. Dehumidifiers. Use dehumidifiers in damp areas like basements to reduce humidity levels. Remove clutter. Keep the interior and exterior of your home clean and free of debris, as clutter can provide hiding places for centipedes. Millipedes, class Diplopoda, are elongated arthropods with two paired legs per body segment. Despite their name, most millipede species do not have 1,000 legs, but they do have more legs than centipedes, with the number of pairs ranging from 30 to over 400, depending on the species. Unlike centipedes, millipedes are not venomous and do not have fangs. Habitat and behavior. Millipedes prefer moist and decaying environments, and they are often found in areas with high levels of organic matter, such as leaf litter, mulch, and compost. They feed on decaying plant material and are essential contributors to the decomposition process in the ecosystem. Intermittent indoor invaders. Similar to centipedes, millipedes may occasionally find their way indoors, especially during periods of heavy rain or when seeking a damp environment. They are not harmful to humans or pets, but their presence indoors can be undesirable. Control and prevention. To prevent millipedes from entering your home, consider the following preventive measures. Seal entry points. Inspect your home for any cracks, gaps, or openings and seal them to reduce potential entry points. Remove mulch. Keep mulch and other organic matter away from the immediate vicinity of your home to reduce millipede attraction. Repair leaks. Address any leaks or moisture issues to make your home less appealing to millipedes. Springtails. Springtails are tiny, wingless insects. Springtails, order Columbola, which is part of the class Entognatha, are detritivores, meaning they feed on decaying organic matter, such as dead leaves, fungi, and algae, contributing to the decomposition process. They are important contributors to nutrient cycling in the soil and play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem balance. Springtails undergo simple metamorphosis, which means they have 3 life stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Female springtails lay eggs in the soil or other suitable substrates. The eggs hatch into nymphs, which resemble smaller versions of adults but lack fully developed reproductive structures. Nymphs grow through a series of molts before reaching adulthood. Springtails have a short life cycle, and under favorable conditions they can reproduce rapidly. Appearance: springtails are extremely small, measuring only a few millimeters in length. They have a soft, elongated body with a forked appendage called a furcula at the end of their abdomen. The furcula acts like a spring, allowing them to catapult themselves into the air when they feel threatened, which is how they got their name. Habitat and behavior: springtails are commonly found in moist and humid environments where they play a vital role in breaking down and recycling organic matter. Intermittent indoor invaders: while springtails typically inhabit outdoor environments, they can sometimes enter homes in large numbers during periods of heavy rain or flooding. Springtails are attracted to moisture, and their presence indoors may be a result of seeking refuge from saturated outdoor habitats. Control and prevention: dealing with springtails indoors requires addressing the underlying moisture issue that attracted them in the first place. First, address moisture. Fix any water leaks or sources of excess moisture in and around your home. Second, look at ventilation. Ensure that areas with high humidity, such as basements and bathrooms, are well ventilated to reduce dampness. Lastly, dehumidifiers. Use dehumidifiers in areas prone to excess moisture to maintain dry conditions. Proper drainage: ensure that rainwater is properly drained away from the structure's foundation. Seal entry points. Inspect the structure for any gaps, cracks, or openings, and seal them to prevent springtails from entering. Safe removal: if springtails have entered a structure, you can collect them using a vacuum cleaner or a piece of damp cloth. By addressing moisture issues and taking preventive measures, you can reduce the chances of springtails becoming an indoor nuisance. Remember that springtails are beneficial insects in their natural habitat and contribute to the health of ecosystems through their role as detritivores. Amphipods. Amphipods belong to the order Amphipoda, which is a diverse group of small, shrimp-like crustaceans found in both marine and freshwater environments. Amphipods are characterized by their laterally compressed bodies and multiple pairs of legs, which vary in size and shape depending on the species. Amphipods play important ecological roles as detritivores and scavengers, contributing to the breakdown of organic matter and nutrient cycling in aquatic ecosystems. Some species of amphipods have also adapted to semi-terrestrial habitats and can be found in damp areas around the yard where they are colloquially referred to as lawn shrimp or scuds. Amphipods undergo direct development, which means they do not go through a larval stage. Instead, they hatch from eggs as miniature versions of adults. Female amphipods carry their eggs in a specialized brood pouch where the eggs develop and hatch. The young amphipods are fully functional upon hatching and continue to grow and molt as they mature into adults. Amphipods are omnivores and have a varied diet. They feed on algae, detritus, plant material, small invertebrates, and even carrion. Some species are filter feeders, using specialized structures to capture tiny particles and plankton from the water. While amphipods are primarily outdoor creatures, they can occasionally find their way indoors. This may happen during heavy rains or flooding, as they are seeking refuge from saturated outdoor environments. However, they are not considered common indoor pests and are not known to establish infestations or cause significant damage inside homes. Amphipods are generally harmless to humans, pets, and structures. They do not bite, sting, or transmit diseases. In their natural habitat, Amphipods play important roles in aquatic ecosystems. They are detritivores, feeding on decaying organic matter, algae, and other small organisms. By consuming dead plant material, they help with the decomposition process and nutrient cycling in the environment. Amphipods do not require control measures when they occasionally enter homes, as they are not pests in the conventional sense. Instead, you can gently collect them and release them back outdoors away from your home. Preventing their entry into living spaces can be achieved by sealing cracks and gaps in the exterior of a structure, but this is usually not necessary unless there is a significant influx of amphipods. Let's review. As you can see, many IPM strategies are very much the same for many occasional invaders. Seal gaps and cracks and other entry points. Repair or replace damaged screens. Reduce moisture. Remove clutter. Vacuum room perimeters under and behind furniture. Remove mulch away from the structure. Repair leaks. Use a dehumidifier when prudent. Now, what about chemical control measures? We'll start with dust applications. Dust applications are very effective, long-lasting, and cost-effective. Nibor-D is a water-soluble, inorganic borate salt with insecticidal properties. Dry foam applications can be used when better adhesion to treated surfaces and minimal runoff is desired. Residual effects of Nibor-D will last longer in areas protected from weather and elements. It is effective as both a preventative and remedial treatment to kill and control general and nuisance pests. Nibor-D may be applied into cracks and crevices on outside areas of structures, including cracks and crevices around windows, door frames, and other areas where insect pests may enter, or to areas where insects hide, such as behind baseboards, storage shelves, and wall studs, between elements of construction, equipment, and floors, in attics, attic insulation, block voids, box sills, cracks, crevices, eaves, voids, and wall voids, in openings around pipes and sinks, and openings leading to voids and hollow spaces in walls. Attic insulation. Nibor-D can be applied to all insulation materials, including cellulose, fiberglass, and natural fiber. Make sure the areas around the attic soffits and pipe protrusions are properly treated. Do not over-apply or reapply into previously treated attics unless the treated insulation has been removed or additional insulation is installed. Rolled insulation. Apply before or after installation at the rate of 1 ounce per 8 feet of insulated area. Blown insulation. Apply to existing insulation at a rate of 2 ounces per 8 feet of insulated area. If new insulation is to be installed over any type of existing insulation, apply at the rate of 1 ounce to 8 feet to the existing insulation, and then again to the new blown-in insulation. Add to blown-in insulation applicators at a maximum rate of 1 to 2 ounces per 8 feet of insulation. Niband granular bait is a weatherized granular borate bait used outdoors or indoors to kill and control silverfish, crickets, and earwigs. Niband is attractive to target species, but will not harm non-target species like bees and butterflies. Niband has no known insect resistance and is weather resistant. As an added bonus, Niband will also help control cockroaches, ants, including carpenter ants, slugs, and snails. How does it work? Niband works differently than most other insecticides. For starters, it doesn't kill by toxicity. It works by taking advantage of a unique feature in the biology of roaches, ants, and other insects. By ingesting Niband, the insect becomes unable to extract nutrition from its food and starves to death. Because this effect only occurs in insects, humans and other living things don't share the risk. And because Niband doesn't depend on toxicity to kill, insects cannot become immune to it ever. New, long-lasting Niband is specifically formulated to work in adverse weather. Each granule is made to withstand extreme exposure to moisture. Niban won't break down in heat or light. It won't mold. And it kills pests without adding toxicity to the environment. Pest control companies can use Niban all around a home, inside and out. Niban can be dusted into wall voids, under cabinets, and in attics, garages, basements, crawl spaces, and pantries. Niban will remain where it is placed and stays effective until it is consumed. Niban is a virtually odorless bait that will not break down over time, delivering long-lasting protection throughout the home. Outdoors, the product will stand up to heat, sunlight, and rain better than any other bait on the market. Niban is applied around the perimeter of the home and to areas where pests nest and feed, such as garbage areas, wood piles, mulch beds, cracks and crevices, and moist areas. Similar to Niban, Niban fine granular bait, a moisture-resistant, fine granular borate bait that can be used indoors and outdoors to kill and control silverfish, earwigs, cockroaches, ants, and carpenter ants. Dusted into attics and under bathroom cabinets to control silverfish. This is the best all-around bait on the market and the one product you need on your truck. It was formulated with a concern for the environment. It's easy to use, and it has produced amazing results since it was created. Niban FG targets a wide spectrum of pests and can be used both indoors and out. That means you can spec one product more often, serving a greater variety of customers while enhancing the profitability of your business. Some advantages of boron-based baits. Many granular baits lose their effectiveness as soon as they get wet. Other baits photodegrade, meaning the active ingredient no longer works, with exposure to the sun, leaving them ineffective. But with Niban FG, all those problems are solved. Niban FG is a weatherized, granular bait that won't degrade in sunlight or heat. Another problem with other baits is that when they get wet, they mold, which makes them unattractive to insects as a food source. Niban FG will not mold. This provides you with protection that lasts longer after other baits break down, reducing callbacks and making your quarterly programs more effective. Drain flies. Order drain flies, also known as moth flies or sewer gnats, belong to the family Psychotidae, which is part of the order Diptera, true flies. They are closely related to other flies, such as fruit flies and fungus gnats. Appearance and behavior. Drain flies are tiny insects, typically measuring about 1/8 inch in length. They have a fuzzy appearance due to the presence of fine hairs on their wings and body. Their wings are covered in scales, giving them a moth-like appearance and making them easy to mistake for small moths. Drain flies have a distinctive fluttery flight pattern, which is why they are often confused with moths. Female drain flies lay their eggs on the moist, inner surfaces of drains, sewage pipes, and other wet areas. The eggs hatch into tiny larvae, which develop and feed in the organic-rich environment. The larvae are slender, worm-like, and have a distinctive dark head capsule. They go through several molts before pupating. The pupal stage is a non-feeding, transitional stage during which the larva transforms into an adult. Once mature, the adult drain flies emerge from the pupa and begin their short adult lifespan. As their name suggests, drain flies are commonly found in and around drains, sewage pipes, septic tanks, and other areas with standing water and decaying organic matter. They prefer damp, organic-rich environments, and their larvae, known as drain fly larvae or moth fly larvae, develop in the film of sludge and organic debris that accumulates in drains and pipes. The larvae feed on decaying food particles, grease, and other organic materials contributing to the breakdown of organic matter. Drain flies can become occasional invaders of homes when adult flies emerge from drains and seek out moist areas for breeding. If conditions are suitable, they can lay eggs in moist organic matter within the home, leading to an infestation. However, their presence indoors is usually an indication of a drainage or plumbing issue that needs attention. To control drain flies, it is essential to address the breeding sites by thoroughly cleaning and sanitizing drains and pipes. Removing organic debris and ensuring proper drainage can help reduce the population of drain flies. Control options. Nibor-D insecticide foam plus IGR is a ready-to-use foam that provides an inexpensive, multi-purpose, and flexible means of delivering active ingredients to hard-to-reach areas. It is a fast and easy way to keep pest populations under control in commercial kitchens and restaurants. Instead of mixing products for use in a foaming machine, Nibor-D plus IGR allows techs to quickly treat non-food surfaces, drains, cracks, and crevices with minimal disruptions to customer operations. On residential accounts, the product can be used to treat all the drains in the house, including floor drains, kitchen sinks, bathroom sink drains, bathtub and shower drains. It is also an ideal solution for treating wall voids, near plumbing penetrations, under sinks, as well as other cracks and crevices in commercial and residential facilities where pests harbor and breed. Note that this product is for indoor use only. Nibor-D plus IGR controls pests in multiple ways. Small flies are killed by contact. The insecticide taints organic matter, making it lethal to adult flies and developing larvae. Meanwhile, the insect growth regulator disrupts pest growth and reproductive systems. The science behind Nibor-D plus IGR. Nibor-D plus IGR's formulation is a combination of 5% Nibor-D, disodium octaborate tetrahydrate, and 0.018% insect growth regulator pyriproxyfen. The formulation is designed to ensure that all life cycle stages are affected, including eggs, larvae, nymphs, pupa, and adults, and that target pests are unable to survive or reproduce. Its unique dual-action formula provides a wide range of benefits, including rapid control, reproductive and developmental inhibition, as well as commercial and residential infestation prevention. These results are achieved through multiple methods such as direct contact. As the foaming insecticide is applied, it delivers an effective dose of the DOT, disodium octaborate tetrahydrate, active ingredient to live insects, resulting in rapid kill. Residual deposits. Because Nibor-D is highly soluble, the formulation penetrates organic material, scum, filth, and biofilm in order to make the breeding material uninhabitable. This process helps to eliminate adults and prevents larval development. Reproductive and developmental control. Pyriproxyfen, a juvenile hormone mimic, goes to work immediately to reduce the chances of a second generation by disrupting the reproductive process, which can result in inhibition of the molting process, reduced egg production and hatch rates, and ultimately sterile adults. Infestation prevention. Applying this product in areas conducive to breeding small flies can help to prevent infestation from establishing. It also helps prevent the spread of infestations throughout commercial kitchens and restaurants, across different areas of a building, or into other units and high-rises, as well as in commercial facilities, kennels, food processing plants, or other areas where small flies are a continuous problem. Foam Fresh Biosanitation Foam. Foam Fresh is used to break down organic matter in drains and in areas where organic buildup occurs, areas like cracks and crevices, around the base of equipment legs, and in garbage receptacles. Foam Fresh leaves a fresh, pleasant scent while the microbes continue to work. Foam Fresh is applied as part of an ongoing maintenance program and can also be used for intense odor-causing situations. Foam Fresh doesn't cover up odors. It uses microbes to attack the source of smell, breaking down the organic matter and eliminating the odor for good. Great for ongoing maintenance. Book lice. Order. Book lice, also known as sochids or bark lice, belong to the order Socodea. which is divided into two suborders, Socomorpha and Trogeomorpha. They are tiny insects and are not true lice, as they are not parasitic and do not feed on blood. Appearance and behavior. Book lice are detritivores and feed on a variety of organic materials, including bookbinding glue, paper, and other household items such as wallpaper, glue, and mold. Book lice are typically less than 1/16 inch in length. They have soft, elongated body with 6 legs and 2 antennae. Book lice are usually white or gray in color. Book lice undergo simple metamorphosis, which means they have 3 life stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Female book lice lay eggs in hidden, protected areas, and the eggs hatch into nymphs. The nymphs resemble smaller versions of adults and go through several molts before reaching adulthood. The time from egg to adult can vary depending on environmental conditions and species. Habitat and behavior. Book lice are commonly found in homes, libraries, and other indoor spaces where books are stored. They are attracted to areas with high humidity and organic materials. Book lice are detritivores, feeding on a variety of organic materials such as bookbinding glue, paper, mold, and other household items containing starches and sugars. They are particularly fond of the glue used in book bindings and may be found within the pages of books. Control and prevention. To prevent book lice infestations, it is essential to reduce humidity levels in indoor spaces and address any moisture issues. Properly storing books and other items in dry, well-vented areas can help discourage book lice. Additionally, maintaining a clean and clutter-free environment can minimize potential food sources for these insects. If book lice become a problem, improving ventilation using dehumidifiers and properly storing books can help control their population. They are tiny, wingless insects that are often found in homes and libraries where books are stored. You probably have noticed with all the occasional invaders we have covered, control measures are similar with all of them. 1. Habitat modification. 2. Exclusion, caulking, weather stripping, screens. 3. Vacuuming. 4. Proper lighting. 5. Proper exterior drainage. 6. Chemical applications when required. Photos courtesy of photographers published on bugwood.org ITP Node. Pest and Diseases Image Library, bugwood.org. Joseph Barger, bugwood.org. Kansas Department of Agriculture, bugwood.org. Frank Pierce, Colorado State University, bugwood.org. Scott Bauer, USDA Agricultural Research Service, bugwood.org. Susan Ellis, USDA APHIS PPQ, bugwood.org. Mohammed El Demir, bugwood.org. Colin Van Overjig, bugwood.org. We thank NICES Corporation for allowing the use of their products as examples of control products. The use of trade names in this publication is solely for the purpose of providing specific information or as examples. American Pest CEUs does not guarantee or warranty the products named, and references to them in this publication do not signify our approval to the exclusion of other products of suitable composition. All chemicals should be used in accordance with directions on the manufacturer's label. Use pesticides safely. Read and follow directions on the manufacturer's label. Congratulations, you have completed the course. Please continue to the quiz. Once you have passed the quiz, you will receive your certificate. Thank you for choosing American Pest CEUs. Please send your comments about the course to pestceus@gmail.com.